Thank you, sis. Thank you for the prayer and for that. Friends, you're welcome. Happy Sabbath. Happy day of rest. I hope you're all doing well. Glad to have you here this evening as we continue to share about hope for today and use for Christ. So we continue with our sharing to enrich ourselves as pilgrims in this world, that we can be able to be the right pilgrims. Our sharing today is youth and Christian leadership. Youth and Christian leadership. I want to use the least time so that you can reserve more time for the next presenter. Yes. So next slide, please. Youth and Christian leadership. Yes. How do I want to approach leadership? For today, Christian leadership, I want to approach it in its simplest form. How can we be good leaders? What does leadership mean to us? What should it be? Especially for a Christian, especially for a youth who is looking forward to be a good leader. I want to believe and say that leadership is a mindset. Leave alone all the other theories that we know about leadership, but leadership is a mindset. I want also to say that leadership is not a title. Leadership is not the size of the office. Leadership is also not having formal authority. We are trying to define leadership. When you hear that, all that does not mean leadership. But what does it mean? Leadership in its simplest form is a way of operating through the day. How do you go through your day? That is leadership. Leadership is a way of being. How do we live? How do we do things? That's why I use the term that leadership is a mindset. Leadership simply says, if you can breathe, if you are alive, you not only have an opportunity, you have the responsibility to show leadership, not only in your work, not only in your creativity, not only in your impact, not only in your influence, and even in your personal life. That's the perspective I want us to go with as we try to learn something more about leadership. So leadership is all that. That's the angle I want us to get. Leadership is a mindset. Each one of us is a leader. So on a daily basis, as we walk, whatever choices we make, we know that we are choosing. Whatever we are doing, we are being leaders. So how do I need us to discuss just about only four items, 4 conversations about leadership that can help us to understand what to me I call Christian leadership. I want to believe that you need no title to be a leader. That's the first conversation that we can have on leadership. You need no title to be a leader. Yes, every person is capable of influencing anyone they meet. by being a great example. Using the perspective I've used above to define leadership, it means that each one of us, so long as we have the capacity to influence another in any way, that means that you are a leader and you're supposed to act as a leader at all times. We might say we are not appointed to be the leaders. If I may use the church setup, you might say this year I'm off. I'm not a leader, or in your community, you're not a leader, or in your family, you're not a firstborn, because we usually say firstborns are the leaders. We had a recent scenario where one of my grandfathers, who is a fifth born, for him his entire life, he never thought that he's a leader, because there was firstborn, there was secondborn, there was thirdborn. But at his age of 80, all the others died. and he was left now to be the leader at the age of 80. That's when he realized that actually he's a leader. So we don't need to do that in our lives. We need to know that on a daily basis, we are leaders. That's why I'm bringing this perspective for us, so that we know that in everything we do, whether you think that you're far from leadership, you are a leader where you are, in your community, in your room, in your family, at home, at work, wherever you are, in the small, small things. That's why I'm defining my leadership. I'm bringing it in that way, that everyone is capable of influencing anyone they meet by being a great example. The people you meet, the clients, the customers, anyone that comes through you, and you exhibit those good qualities, you talk to them nicely, you be of help. That's leadership. Success does not just happen because someone's stars line up. Success, both in business and personally, is something that is consciously created. It is the guaranteed result of a deliberate series of acts that anyone can perform. So, if you need to be successful in your Christian leadership, you must be intentional about it and make sure that there are simple, small acts that you do that are going to get you there. Then this is also interesting. Turbulent times build great leaders. That's another conversation about leadership. In those moments, in those very moments, in the turbulent times, that's when you get to know who is a leader, how great are they. When you push yourself to your limits expand. In moments when you feel you can't go on, those are the moments that determine who we become and who we are, and which leadership skills we exhibit. Do we break? Do we cry? Or what do we do? Are we resilient? How do we go through that? How do we cross those limits? So have the hope. The hope is when you push yourself to your limits expand. This is proved and tested. You've been a corner, but it will expand so long as you get through. The more you lean inwards, in towards the challenging path, the more you benefit. The saying of ihanurwa ararebere, not omukuru. Those are Banyankore saying that certain things can only be explained by people who have gone through them, not necessarily age. So that means that at any stage you are a leader, so long as you go through an experience. You might go through an experience which a 50-year-old has not gone through. That makes you a leader in that area because you know it. Leadership is influence, is that desire. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. If you have to take comfort at the comfort zone, that's when other people who are intentional about improving their lives, about becoming happier with their choices, start. Another area of conversation is build relationships. This is a strong trait that needs to be exhibited by anyone who wants to identify as a leader in any area. You're leading people, so you must build relationships. You're not dealing with things without feelings. The deeper your relationships, the stronger your leadership. At our local congregation, if we are unable to exhibit the depths of the relationships, the whole leadership will be doing nothing. You won't even feel us, because that's what people are looking for. They are looking for the belonging, because all the other things are there. So in terms of leadership, we are looking for comfort. We are looking for acts of kindness, patience. How do you feel? How do you receive us? All these are built through relationships, and you must be intentional about them. Key to success lies in being of service to others. Yeah, that's all about leadership. Service to others, not you. If you want to win, you need to help others win. When you genuinely help others, they will genuinely help you. You cannot run a project alone. So long as you're given a position to lead, or you're part of the team, you must make sure that our team is moving in your direction. If it doesn't, that you want to attain it alone, then you won't go far. So leadership is all about building relationships. Leave every single person who intersects your path better, happier, and more engaged than you found them. Yeah, this is a strong trait on building relationships, which gives us, which is true Christian leadership. Every member that crosses our ways must live feeling that, okay, today I met a good person. These days, good people are very rare. So if you meet them, you know them. So to be a leader, you must have that. That should be seen in you. And you require no title to do that. At your various workplaces, at your various points of service, at your various, even where you're not called to, but you're there, people should live more happier and more engaged whenever they share with you and they cross their paths. Leadership, you can never be a leader before you do what we call self-leadership. Leadership must start with you. You must, to be a great leader, become a great person first. Oftentimes we get challenged when we find people we call our leaders, but you look at the way they do things. Actually, this whole thing of leadership is how we do things. You look at their methods of work, their choice of words, their language, their tone. In all moments where they choose their choices of wars and what, and you're wondering which school creates such kind of leaders. But as Christian leaders, we need to be great. We need to be good people. We need to be calm. We need to be kind, because that's what the Bible tells us, and that's what we should exhibit. This one needs no title, needs no position. At all your levels, let's exhibit that. Read yourself first. Only then you will get to a place as a person where you can lead other people. Yeah, we've seen a leader who is completely different from what he says. He's a church leader, He's an seasoned leader, but the things he says don't apply in his life. So he lacks self-leadership. He hasn't led himself in any way. So in that way, that's mediocrity, and it doesn't work. Those are the key main areas of focus. You need no title to be a leader. Turbulent times build great leaders, build relationships, and self-leadership. Key takeaways from the conversation we've just had: think about our purpose in life. That's when we shall be good Christian leaders. What's our purpose in life? What do we want to attain? Which level of service are we looking at? Because we've seen that service is serving others, not you. How much prepared are you for that? 2, think about what we want to fight for. Each one of us must have a fire inside, burning of which values do we want to bring out to people? Which impact do we want to create in this world? Those are things we should fight for. Step out of your comfort zone. We oftentimes sit in our comfort zones and sleep and take a comfortable sleep. But you can't be leaders and then do that. Dream about goals without any limitations. Anything is possible. The sky is no longer the limit, a common saying. We need to be out there and do things. Each one of us is born into genius. Sadly, most of us die amid mediocrity. Each one of us, from birth, we are given equal opportunities. We are given equal chances of approaching life. But along the way, most of us lose it, trying to pray here and there to figure it out, which is sad. I will end with this. The world needs more love. That's the truth. That's where we are now. The world needs more love. And the world needs more leadership. Those two statements go together. The world needs more love and the world needs more leadership. So that means that my approach of leadership is filled with love. We must lead full of love. That's when our leadership will be very impactful. That's when we shall be Christian leaders. I would say, please don't resign yourself to any form of mediocrity by saying I can't lead. At any stage of life, wherever you are, whether you have a position in church, whether you have a position in your class, whether you have a position in your community, at workplace. No, that's not leadership. The leadership will be how you impact, how you do your work. If you happen to get a chance to clean the area where you stay, or to clean your space, or wherever, clean that space as a leader, so that if anyone comes there, they will notice that this place has been cleaned differently, in a very good way. That's when we shall be doing the leadership. You are alive, you have power, you may not know it, but we all have power to be good leaders. So I would charge you and say that go and read. From today, go and read. Go and try to put these into perspectives, these small conversations we've had. Put them into perspective, put them down. They are simple. I chose to go simple, not hard things, so that we can understand how we need to be great leaders, how we need to be Christian leaders, people of influence. Our leadership should be impactful. Leave our own influence. Come to impact. Let it be impactful. In that way, all things will come. Money will come. Blessings will come. All things will come to us if we are doing impactful leadership. If you're given an opportunity to lead any program, at any stage. Do it thoroughly well, that everyone will look at it and they are wondering who, they feel something special is attached to it. There you will have done your part. That is the Christian leadership that I charge with each one of us, full of love, full of building relationships. We must think about that all the time. How is my leadership impacting the relationships around? Don't be the leader who breaks all the relationships that are there. With that, I thank you all for listening. Good evening, members.
For sharing with us this evening, and may God bless you. In case somebody has a question or would like to supplement, if we would have time at the end of the program, it will be open. But meantime, you can share your questions and queries in the comment section, and Elder will answer it perhaps at the end of the program. So this time, I'm just having a small challenge of stopping the stream, but we would have the next session immediately after I have started the next live stream. Just a short moment. Requesting Sister Patience to make me host again so that I can do the next stream. Patience, if you're there, thank you.